Alrighty. So what came present this morning was, well, actually I've had this awareness over the last week. We've been looking after Phoenix, his beautiful sister. So they both have the same condition. They both are neurologically challenged. Their balance, their coordination isn't great. They both walk similarly, like they're drunk all the time. And so we've been looking after her while her parents are away. And it's been fascinating to me to see how much they compare what they have to each other. And I started to think, because I would have assumed that this thing that we do, that humans do, of comparing ourselves to each other, was an ego-based or consciousness-driven thing, right? I wouldn't have thought that an animal that didn't necessarily have thought or self-awareness or consciousness the way that humans does, that would have this dynamic of comparing. But whenever they get their meals, right, they want the other's meal. Whenever they have a toy, maybe they'll be satisfied for a little bit, but very quickly they want the other's toy. Whenever they get, and I've been very conscious of like, okay, Phoenix has found a bully stick, great, I'll get out another bully stick for Nube. They're happy with it for a small moment, but then they want the other's bully stick, to the point where they'll drop theirs and go and try and take the others. And I just thought that was so fascinating, because it is just a real natural part of what I believe we've come into, definitely into this human experience, to let go of. But just having that awareness of how natural and how inevitable in our evolution it is, has been quite interesting to me. And so I want to talk a little bit about comparing, and I think it's hilarious that this is currently being broadcast on social media, because if we talk about a current day opportunity for comparison, social media is it. And there is nothing innately negative about social media. It's only how we use it, right? There is such grace, such goodness, such light pouring out into the world through social media, and I'm so grateful for it. I think it's just an incredible part of being alive on this planet at this time. But it's really hard. I have a lot of compassion for myself, comparing myself to other people, comparing my life to others. And I just want to share what I do and what I support clients in. And it was actually really lovely. A good client, Taylor Louderman, did a shout out yesterday on Instagram. Thank you, Taylor. Love you, and so much light to your big concert in St. Louis. A bit of a shout out to that. So if you're in St. Louis, definitely Google Taylor Louderman, or you probably know what she's doing there. But she was commenting on the power of gratitude in the mornings. And there is no coincidence, or, well, I have to say, when I was receiving the Allowing.Love program, it was all very random, right? It was more like just being present in the moment, and I would continue to receive certain steps in letting go and just receiving my intuition. So it's not that I sat down and thought, oh yeah, gratitude would be the perfect final step in a small morning practice to really launch us into our day. But I've had great feedback from those who are really in the groove of using the Allowing.Love practice in the mornings. But my biggest awareness is how profound it is in my own life. And there is something really powerful that I've just been becoming more and more aware of in terms of the difference between manifestation, creation, living our life, and kind of letting our ego drive that a little more than perhaps we'd like, versus spiritual manifestation and truly coming into a place of being, of letting go, and of not letting go of our dreams, right? Really trusting them, receiving them, checking them in on our intuition and really showing up, but also letting go of the attachment, letting go of the relationship that we have inside, that it's when we get that thing that then we'll be happy, that then we'll be successful, that then our life will be the way that we want it, and then almost then we'll be able to be so grateful for our entire life just as it is, and really feel that experience that everything is perfect just as it is. Because, yeah, this is coming up, I'll share it. When I did my Doctorate of Spiritual Science, my PT, my practical treatise, my research, my repeatability study was on journaling through the positive, journaling through this intention of everything is perfect right now. And I think I had about 40 people complete that study, and the results were definitely enough to help me graduate and launch my treatise. But they were overwhelmingly in support of how powerful it is to spend at least a little bit of time and just come into the perspective of the positive, and more than the positive, the like, everything is perfect in my life right now. And that same energy is really what I use, or what seems to come present in terms of the gratitude in the morning. So the version of gratitude that I do, or that I encourage people to do at the end of the Allowing.Love process, which again, I love plugging it, right? It's a free 7-day audio download that you can get on this Facebook page or on my website. You can just click the blue sign up button on my Facebook page. But it is pretty much 5 steps that take about 10 minutes, but I've created a 7-day program where you get an email over 7 days. It's just 10 minutes, but it guides you through really understanding those 5 steps and really implementing them in your life if you choose. But the version of gratitude that I use at the end of the Allowing.Love process starts with the sentence, it starts with the sentence, I'm grateful for my life just as it is. And I do experience that that's actually quite a high spiritual frequency, and a tough one, right? If we're having a tough time in our life, a real tough one, to get our mind, our emotions, our heart and soul around that one. But the more that we be open to that and wander into that, it's profound how that does really easily show up. And if that's challenging for you, definitely start with anything that you can be grateful for. And then as you do that more and more, I experience being able to really build up to, I'm grateful for my entire life just as it is. So I'm guided to just do a bit of a gratitude meditation right now, and it will use the form that we do in the Allowing.Love program, but I'm just guided to go within right now and do this as a bit of a meditation. So again, you have your whole life ahead of you, right? You have so many hours left in this day, so many days left in this week, so many weeks left in this life. Do you have enough time to take just, say, 3 or 4 minutes to truly let go of what you're doing right now and to turn within? I really encourage you to do that if you can, because information is a wonderful thing. It truly is. It does spark us, guide us, prompt us to go within and get our own experience. But I want to be a bit direct and say all information is completely useless unless you actually apply it, unless you actually get your own experience. And the metaphor of swimming has come up recently. I'm actually writing a book, and just that metaphor of, like, you can read about what it is to swim until the cows come home, but until you get in that water, you have no idea what swimming is. And similarly with our life and the spirit, and going within and really taking on some of these principles. It's all about where the rubber meets the road, right? Really applying it and getting your own experience so that you can really start to work it your way. Alrighty, so I'm going to close my eyes, and I encourage any of you out there that can, close your eyes and go within. And again, as always, we ask for the highest good, and we ask for our friends, the travelers, the Christ, the archangels, just all beings of light that work through the Holy Spirit. We welcome you to support us and guide us, to love us at this time. And we ask for profound spiritual support and upliftment in helping us see our life just as it is right now as perfect, as worthy of profound gratitude and a deep sigh of relief that the life that we have right now is beautiful, filled with joy, filled with love at every turn. I'm going to ask that you just give yourself a few moments, and we'll have some silence, to really find all of the love in your life. It could be people, it could be moments, it could be experiences. Just let yourself reflect on how much love you have in your life. And really let that in. Sometimes it brings up a tear, or that emotion that often comes with the spirit can be something that we don't want to be vulnerable to. Really let that in. How much do you love your life? How loved do you feel by your family, by your dog, your cat, your furry members of the family, by your work, by the random moments of love on the street, out there in the world? And how much joy is there in your life? Really allow yourself to look only for the joy. Yeah, there's probably some shitty, sad, frustrating moments, but I know that there is so much joy in your life. And I'm encouraging you to open to it and find it and celebrate it and feel it, as if really experiencing this joy was going to charge your energy field so fully that you're just going to be a magnet for more of that joy, more of this grace, this spirit that is the joy. How much joy can you find in your work, in the connections you have with people, in the beautiful things that you have, in your ability to find the good, find the light-hearted and the joyful in anything that goes on. And finally, I'm going to ask that you do your best to allow Spirit to lift you into the highest possible perspective of your life. And this is going to be the spiritual perspective of your life. It's one that lets go of comparing you in any way to anyone else, but it lifts you into a perspective of the perfection of your life, and that you are exactly where you need to be. Every single aspect of your life just now has been orchestrated and designed very perfectly to set you up for all that you want. There is nothing present in your life that's a challenge or a block to what you want. They're all guiding you to accept them, to cooperate with everything that's going on. And they are all going to serve and support you if you let them into receiving what you want more of, more grace, more joy, more love. But it starts with feeling, receiving, experiencing the perfection, just how perfect, how grateful everything is in your life, just as it is. And so I'm going to ask you to allow one thought allow one thing in your life right now that's hard to be grateful for, that you feel sometimes like is a challenge, is a block, needs to be fixed and gotten rid of. I'm going to ask you just to receive that one challenge. And I'm going to just ask that you be open and step into a bit of wonder, a bit of childlike curiosity. How is this one thing for me? How is it here to lift me into a higher perspective? How is it for me in actually serving me towards what I want? And that may be a question that you carry on with through this week. That it's nothing that the mind's going to figure out, that it's a quality of openness, of wonder, of just being open. How might this be for me? How might this be trying to serve me and really guide me and support me to all that I want, to all of the experiences and the greater joy, love, success, all that's good. So just now we do give deep gratitude to Spirit. And if Spirit's not your word, if it's yourself, your love, if it's God, if it's the universe, if it's Source, but I'm going to encourage you to be grateful for something that's bigger than you, an energy of loving that is always with you and is supporting you and is the glue for this planet and beyond. I'm just going to encourage you to be grateful to that love that's bigger than we are. Because the more we can have a direct, intimate relationship with this Spirit, this love, the more we let it in, the more it guides us, the more that it creates miracles and magic and manifestation in our life. So as much as we can truly have a heartfelt thanks, I see you, I love you, thank you for supporting me. Thank you, Spirit, for being so close and so supportive in my life. Thank you. As much as you can tangibly, kinesthetically feel that go out, it's going to support you in living closer, living more fully into who you are as one with Spirit. Alrighty, so feel free to open your eyes if you can. I'm going to get a little bit of makeup off my face. I love you guys. I just love myself so much, and my commitment to keep showing up, because when we do just show up, right? There is a Spirit that meets us there. There is a joy and a grace and a love that meets us there. And, you know, I didn't want to do this at 8:30 a.m., right? I get excited at different points, but I just trust that the Spirit is waiting for me at 9 a.m. And so I show up, and I want to give deep gratitude and deep thanks for my spiritual teachers, John Roger and John Morton, that have really shown me that. And when I give my thanks and my gratitude to Spirit, my gratitude and thanks goes to them. And I will plug my spiritual teaching, MSIA, the Movement of Spiritual Inner Awareness, because I love being a coach. I love supporting people and sharing this life, really encouraging and sharing what I experience works. But I get great value out of having a spiritual community and a spiritual teacher. So I encourage you to find one of those if that resonates for you. And what's important is a direct relationship with Spirit. I don't believe that you need that. It's helpful for me. What is important, however, is a direct relationship with Spirit, with love, with your highest, your best, your goodness inside. And that's all that is the bottom line. But if you're looking for a community and a spiritual teacher, you could check out MSIA. MSA. Another random plug. Alrighty, guys, I love you. Show up, right? I'm just continually inspired by Brené Brown's work and her encouragement to us all to really show up. And when we do, right, it's there is an energy, there is a love that meets us there, and it helps us get through the fear, helps us get through the doubts, and it really helps us get through absolutely anything that might show up in our human limitation. But it really supports us in living that spirit that's going to do it all for us, that's really going to support us, that is what's so touching and pouring through me now. I love you guys. Have an incredible week. My beautiful husband will be back with me next week, Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific. And I do, right? Whether or not it's the Allowing.Love practice that works for you, it was a complete game changer for me to really consistently show up for myself, my dreams, my love, my gratitude in the morning. Completely game changed my life. So however you do that, I wish that for you, if that resonates, if that calls to you. And I'll see you next week. Love you guys.